The enemy uses the heaviest artillery on the people who are carrying the greatest purpose. And so if a lot is coming against you, that means God has put a lot in you.
There is always something you can't see influencing what you can. And if you spend all of your time, your energy, your effort trying to hit at what you see popping up in your life, you're going to be so frustrated and, by the way, exhausted. Because as soon as you take care of one thing, another one is coming back. Unless you do what the Apostle Paul says, pull back the curtain and let the enemy know we got our eyes on you.
Many people say, Nick, I've been praying for God to do something or give me something, and I don't know what my purpose is. But read the Bible. I know that God has a plan for me. Jeremiah 29 verse 11, for I know the plans that I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. You don't know the plans of God yet? Then read on, verse 12. Then you will call upon me, come pray to me, and I will listen to you. You will seek me and find me when you search me with all your heart. I will be found by you, declares the Lord.
You know, there's a timing that God has for everything. Trust His timing. Ecclesiastes 3:1, he says, there's a time and a purpose for everything. And when your time hasn't come, what do? Trust Him. When your prayer is being delayed, what do? Trust Him. When you spoke to the mountain but it won't budge, what do? Trust Him. When you said to the dry bones, come alive, and they just sit there and stare back at you, or they give you one of their fingers, one of the bony ones. Trust Him. Trust Him. It's a partnership. We speak the word because He told us to, but we trust Him for the results.
When God is ready to turn it around, no person can stop Him. No sickness, no addiction, no trouble. What God has purposed for your life will come to pass. When you face these situations that seem permanent, you've done all you can and the door hasn't opened. The person hasn't changed. The medical report hasn't improved. You feel like we did. It was too late. You've run out of options. Now get ready. A turnaround is coming. What God started, He's going to finish. There's not a mountain you face that He can't turn into a molehill. There's not a person that's against you that He can't change their mind. You don't have to convince people. You do your part and leave the rest to God.
Prayer is the key that unlocks the resources of heaven so that they can be unleashed on planet Earth. Prayer is the key He's actually given you to get all the good stuff down here. Because I don't know about you, but I don't want to wait to get to heaven to experience all that God has for me. Any bits of heaven He plans to give me on earth, I want it right now. Prayer accesses the bits of heaven He intends to give you now. And prayer, listen, prayer is what pushes the kingdom of darkness back. It's what pushes it back. That's why Jesus said, my house shall be called not a house of good preaching, not a house of good singing, not a house of great spotlights and production, not a house of great cafes. I hope you have all of that. Enjoy it. But Jesus said at the end of the day, my house better be called a house of prayer.
You are tired, you must be very careful that you do not become dehydrated. You have got to move away from wells that will never quench your thirst, and you have got to receive the water that flows from within. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the reason that you came to church today is God wanted to give you water. He knows you're tired. He knows you're thirsty. He hung on a cross and said, I thirst too. He stretched his arms this wide because he was tired of it too. And the man who was God became man, and he who knew no sin became sin, that we might become the righteousness of God. And he said to the woman, and he said to me, and he said to you, come unto me, all you who are weary and heavy laden, and I will give you rest.